Hello, my name is Richard Myhill, and I'm the Director and Chief Executive of the London International Youth Science Forum. I've been running LIYSF for the last 16 years, but our event has been going since 1959, and I'm delighted to work with an amazing team that put together our programme. So, I am ready to put together and to present to you about what LIYSF is, the London International Youth Science Forum. We know it's an incredibly long name, but each element and each word in our title is super important. It's about bringing young people together who are passionate in STEM that want to learn from each other. And for us, that's really exciting. Our event always takes place at the end of July and the beginning of August each year. You can see here we have our 2025 dates up and ready for you. So, at LIYSF, we have 80 countries participating from all the inhabited continents each year in our programme. Our vision, we were established just after the Second World War, and the idea was is to bring young people together to learn about each other through a shared common passion and interest. They chose STEM, science, as that basis. Throughout this presentation and through our materials, we talk about science, but we always are referring to STEM whenever we're referring to science. And our program is weighted, it's much more than any other summer camp. It's non competitive, and it's also bringing young people together to learn about and to see the world's best science and technology, but also to learn about different cultures, to meet people from different places all around the world. That's what makes our program exciting and unique. Our event was started with royal patronage. The Duke of Edinburgh, the late Queen's husband, Prince Philip, he was our founding patron. The late Queen's daughter, Princess Anne, Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, is our current patron at LIYSF. All these photos you'll see here are taken from our event in the last few years. You might be losing a few words with my head here. I'm really sorry about that. But this is a slide about what is LIYSF and what takes place. So each year we have 500 students that are aged 16 to 21 years old attending our program, as I mentioned, from 80 different countries. It's a very academic program. We bring together the best scientists from around the world to come and to engage in our program and to deliver to our students. As I mentioned, we're not a competition, we're not a fair, we're not an expo. We are a very unique camp, science program, summer school that takes care of everything for the 2 weeks at a very high level. As well as our royal credibility and prestige, we also have an independent academic president who herself is a former participant at LIYSF. She is the Vice Dean for Engineering at UCL, Professor Claire Elwell. We also have the patronage of UNESCO. We have the support of national governments as well as the British Council and the UK. LIYSF all takes place at Imperial College London, in the heart of one of the world's leading science and technology universities, and our lectures in the stunning Royal Geographical Society. This is coming back now a little bit here about what I mentioned about science or STEM. We're covering natural science topics. We're not looking at social sciences, but looking at all natural sciences, all STEM subjects. So these are the topics that we're typically covering throughout the program. I'll explain in a moment about how students can tailor the program to their own interest a bit later on. Throughout the 2 weeks, we have 10 main plenary principal lectures. These are from very high profile scientists from around the world. So this year we have Nobel Prize winner from 2021, Professor Sir Dave Macmillan, giving the keynote address. We've got Professor Kelly Chibali, who's pioneering a brand new malaria treatment, coming over from South Africa to speak to our students. As just some examples, we have world leading scientists giving top level lectures. Now, the next element is where students can tailor the program to suit their own interests. So if you're really passionate about engineering or medicine or mathematics or physics or astrophysics, this is the part of the program where you tailor it to your own interests. So this happens on our 4 specialist study days. We have, our 4 specialist lectures. One of those is our specialist study day. So students can choose from about 8 different topics available each day, which is their field of interest. We have then 4 days dedicated to scientific visits all across London, All across the UK, Oxford and Cambridge universities are the world's leading science and natural history museums. Students can go and visit world leading university departments and see what it's like to be a researcher there, to see what the research looks like and what a career there might work like. But we also have industrial sites if you're interested in places like McLaren, Airbus, Rolls Royce. There's a lot of industry places to get involved with and see as well. So, during the 2 weeks, there are a huge amount of benefits for our students, and I'm going to explain some of those in a moment. We do give the opportunity for students to present an independent research project. This is if they wish to present. It's not compulsory, but we do encourage it. And this is done in a non competitive format. There's no winner, there's no competition element here, but there is the opportunity to get a certificate after completing it to say that you presented at an international event. And many students, that is really exciting and something they can put together in their CV and their application. We also give certificates for all those students that complete our program. The ability for coming on our program every year, we have a Nobel Prize winner, a high level scientist. Getting that possibility to meet them in person, to hear about their research, but also ask questions, engage, is a very exciting opportunity in our program. I often talk about this. Coming to LIYSF helps students stand out in a future university application, and in two different ways. It stands out on an application. Lots of universities have students applying that are fantastic students that all have great grades, doing volunteer work, doing sports. Everyone's doing these amazing things, but they're very similar. LISF is a great way to stand out, to show a commitment and an interest where you've been able to be a student ambassador for your region at an international event. So already it stands out. But what we hear from so many people is that if you get asked to an interview, whether it's online or in person, there are many moments where they will ask a student for examples of when they've had to overcome a difficulty or represent an organization or themselves. And coming to LIYSF gives a student the opportunity and they experience to then to work on. They can say, I had the opportunity to present my research to this Nobel Prize winner. I find it difficult presenting for the first time my work in English or whatever the case might be. They've got that experience. They've been there. If you're applying internationally, you've shown that you've had an international experience. Also, we help our students to be trained in communication, to think about the effective ways of preparing themselves and presenting themselves, whether that be for a university application, for research, or for work. These are critical skills that we're helping our students learn and practice while they're with us. Um, Particularly after these COVID years, but our event is really important for helping students improve their confidence and their knowledge in the area. And obviously, the interaction and the learning from students from 80 different countries is absolutely invaluable. I put here on some of the slides some of the elements that I was talking about those key benefits for students, about the education, about the confidence, about the communication skills. I've covered most of these areas here already, but I just wanted to put them up here to be really clear. There are some really big benefits to our program. It's very academic. It runs for 2 weeks, and we pack those days really with a lot of science activities throughout. As I mentioned, we have cultural interaction that spreads just much further than just in, say, the dining room. We have 10 dedicated events which are looking for students to showcase and to share in cultures and traditions. So these are from informal events like our crossword treasure hunt or our dances or our quizzes to our more presentational moments, which is the international cabaret and traditions of home, where students are learning about each other's cultures and learning about different perspectives and attitudes. And these connections are vital for the future. They're a basis, it's a form of networking that sets them up with this international network of people that are just as passionate about STEM as they are, and that can lead them going forward for an amazing opportunity for their experience. We talk here a little bit about diversity. I always talk about this basis here about friendships. This is me a few years ago with two of my Nigerian sisters. The friendships that come from LIYSF by having people that are as excited about different elements coming together is an amazing part of LIYSF. Students have this network of friends that then come on to be peers, that then go on to be collaborators in the future all across the world. To come to LIYSF, we have our main requirements. You need to be aged 16 to 21 years old. You need to be fluent in spoken English. I'm never going to ask for your exam results. We just want to make sure that students can understand and can present themselves well in spoken and listening for English, and that they're passionate about STEM. We'll need a reference to make sure that a student is dedicated to a science program for 2 weeks, and you're able to get to us in London for our program for the full duration. Now, just a little bit about our accommodation. LIYSF takes place in the heart of central London in the Imperial College campus and surrounding area. We have an amazing array of different options for our students to stay in. They're all in safe, well prepared, and dedicated to housing students or guests in London. They do this all day, every day. My staff stay in the residence with the students as well. I am in one of the residences, as well as 24-hour security staff and reception staff throughout. We have a variety of rooms that are available, and we can talk to you about those when you're looking at making an application with us. The standard accommodation is included. There are some options to upgrade to a 4-star hotel as well. As I mentioned, it takes place in the heart of South Kensington. So this is just behind the Science Museum, right next to, and I mean right next to, the Royal Albert Hall, Hyde Park. It's a beautiful and safe part of London. It's where a lot of the embassies are as well. It's a really beautiful and great part of the city. As I mentioned, our staff are on site and available 24/7. We do extensive training programs. We have an independently verified safety protocol, which enables us to talk about our Travel Safe program. We do crisis management training. We also have risk assessments. We also do inspections of all the places that we go to, and we vet through very carefully. We've been running this program for over 65 years. The safety of our students is our number one priority. We deliver an incredible program in science, but we want to make sure, first and foremost, safety is there. And that's one of the reasons why we stay in this particular part of London. It's a great place to be and a very safe place to be. So a little bit about the money. What's included, what's not included. The idea behind the fee is £3,295, includes all the elements in London, the meals, the accommodation, the lectures, the scientific visits, the social program, the certificates. Everything's included in that element. What's not included is the flights to and from London, any visas, any that extra travel insurance, and any optional. We have a few small opportunities to go to London Eye or to the theatre or things like that, and they're extras on those days that are there. We require a deposit to secure the place. That's 795, and then the balance payment of 2,500 is due by the beginning of June. I put this slide up here. Ami is one of our former students and also a staff member at the Science Forum. And it's just this impact, this possibility of being an ambassador, representing your country, but then going back and then being an ambassador for LIYSF and for science in the home region is vital. It's a real privilege to welcome so many great students, and we'd love to have your students with us as well. Thank you for being with us. We've got a bit of information about our alumni. We're running out of time on our video, but we have an amazing alumni that run on and gone into incredible places in the world. We can share more information on our website. And I'll leave on this slide here. Our speakers are of a very high level, and this is just one example of the former director. Thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure. And let us know, contact us, please get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, and we hope to welcome your students. Thank you.